Welcome to the Totemic Gamer channel. We'll be doing another unscripted review on the Oversoul. This time we'll be doing the review on the tournament. First of all, I'd like to thank the Oversoul team for the time and effort that they put into the tournament, especially towards Warlock and Rollith. Nice going, guys. You eliminated most of the bugs, the annoying ones, apparently, down, and also added a couple new keen features to the game. So special thanks to that. And also I would like to congratulate Baron Dante, who was able to gain the first spot place on the Oversoul tournament. Congrats, man, you earned it. Especially though you really lost a ton of sleep. But gaining 582 wins is no simple feat, especially within the span of a two-day weekend. So now let's get to the main point of the review. Now, the Oversoul tournament, I give a 9 out of 10. How the tournament, I'll state my reasons to it. I love the tournament. It was fun. It was balanced compared to Epic Duel, where you had like a ton of support, users down at the, during the tournament course over the span of, I think, what was it, a week or two. It was balanced for the most part. But the main issue is that there were a lot of people that were using Founder Champion, Black Dragon, and Headless Horseman. There were some people like myself, Tally, a couple people like Andalou were using Void Knight. I think Lord Beck was using Kasoma, though a lot of people were pissed off at him for for using the Ice Beetle, because Ice is technically overpowered in Oversoul, which technically it's not, except Kasoma. Kasoma's pretty much a both offensive and defensive type powerhouse. So now we'll take a look at it. In the tournament, I'm a bit tired here. In the tournament, it was basically basically your rank was determined on how many times you would win throughout the span of the 2 weeks. A lot of people were complaining that it should have been bracket. Now, here's my thoughts out to you guys. Bracket tournaments are very time consuming. Very time consuming. Now here are my thoughts on this. If you want to do the bracket tournaments, open up Square Enix has this game called Guardian Souls, and they have different tournament spots, from novice, beginner, advanced, and masters. And those 4 spots would each have their own unique rewards in the terms of monsters that you gain if you gain the top 3 spots. Players would battle it out, that sort of stuff. Though that one is also wins based, but it also accumulates points. Whether you win or lose, you still gain points. But the losing side will gain less points will gain a huge amount less points than the winning side. But if you want bracket tournaments to work, then I suggest putting up 3 or 4 brackets. About at least maybe 100 people to sign up on one. And what would happen is that if you put up a tournament button at the top corner, and if people click on that, they would get matched up to the person on the bracket that they're supposed to go against. Now, my main issue here is that not a lot of people will be online. You can't really disqualify someone if they're not going to be online, especially like if you say, because I work on the weekends and I'm not here most of the morning. I work at 4 in the morning up till like 12 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't think it would be fair if you would disqualify me because I'm not on for a long amount of hours, and the other person might not be on for that specific time. And that wouldn't be balanced. That wouldn't really be that wouldn't be subjugated to balance on that term. A lot of people would like bracket, but sorry, since this is like real time tournament, wins are only going to work with this type of system. You can't have bracket types. The other issue was that I encountered in a tournament that a lot of people were using characters that were considered overpowered. My Aberrant Exile is considered, is the medium powered character who on par would be the same in power as a Void Knight. Now my main issue was that people were actually glitching in the tournament. I went against the one Headless Horseman who somehow was glitching his energy cost efficient and was gaining energy in an absurd rate. I draw a couple cards when he should have had 14 charges. He was able to dish out 2 fireballs in a short time of after the first fireball, and he had, energy costs. The other issues were, that was the only issue I encountered with the tournament. Now, with the issue with Incinerate, I would have to suggest putting an energy cost to either, well, some people suggest 2 or 3. I simply say 3 or 4. Because, it only goes to balance. Think about it. Empowered only discards 1 card to gain 300, while Incinerate discards 1 card and gains 600. There's something wrong with that. You either do the energy costs, or you go back to what happened in Alpha. I believe that Incinerate was able to discard 2 cards. I don't understand why you guys took that out. I mean, it really just kind of destroyed balance in the terms of PvP, and a lot of players were actually abusing glitches with Headless Horseman. I'm not saying Baron was one of those people. I'm just saying I've noticed a couple people down in the... Thankfully, they were disqualified since Rolith was watching the amount of win rates that people were actually gaining through the matches. So thanks, Rolith, for the hard work. That's basically I issued out the cons. So in a retrospect, tournaments balanced with card customization coming out. I do hope that people will use a more widespread sheet of characters other than the 3 characters that I've been facing throughout the whole tournament: Founder Champion, Black Dragon, and the Headless Horseman, which was really ridiculously insane. I'm able to destroy both Founder Champion and Black Dragon, but when it came to Headless Horseman, I always had to pray that I had to go first. But unfortunately, most of the time I had to go second, and I effortlessly lose because of Headless Horseman gaining the upper advantage in Incinerate, and also the glitches that they were abusing. So anyways, congrats Dante, and thank you Oversoul team for putting up this wonderful tournament. So I'll see you guys next time on the Totemic Gamer channel. Please like, subscribe, and follow my Twitter. Alright? Enjoy.